Hey guys, what is up? So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. So today I'm going to be showing y'all how I fertilize and how I feed some of my plants. So during the winter time, like there's less sun, there's no bugs, there's nothing really alive for the plants to eat on, because during the summertime these pitchers fill up with bugs that come in from the outside and get trapped on their own. But during the winter time, whenever there's no bugs, you can see it because some of the growth will start to slow down along with the light. That can help trigger some of these plants to like slow down, especially the Nepenthes. But this is how I feed my sundews and other pinguicula and some other Nepenthes as well. So what I do for my sundews is we're going to cut to that clip later, but what I do is I have these, they're freeze-dried bloodworms. I used to have them for a different betta fish. They're just these from Walmart. They work perfectly fine. The plants love them. So you don't need to get no like fancy pants, all crap fertilizer. I mean, people do use Osmocote, but it's fine. So I just go around and I tap the tweezers on there and I get little specks on there. So as you can see right here and right here, sometimes they like completely fill out. So there's some others, like right here, there's a leaf. Let me see. Right here. And I do this with pretty much all of them. Like right here, you can see there's a bloodworm, and the plants you can see the butterworts are pushing out flowers, and so are the capensis. Like they're growing really well from the extra food. Even this my main capensis coming back, and over the next few hours they'll start to curl over and do this, which I have a really good example in my room, which we'll get to that later. So also in feeding the Nepenthes, with capensis is fine. They grow leaves like crazy and they really don't care. But with Nepenthes, you would want to feed a pitcher that is on its way out. So if you have a new pitcher, because this is a new pitcher on my Nepenthes guy, this is just a cutting that I have. But as you can see, there's nothing in here. It's completely fresh. Hold on, let me put these down real quick. This is a completely fresh pitcher. There's nothing inside of it, besides maybe a few like little gnats. So I overfeed my pitchers. Like this one, there's a cricket and some bloodworms, if you can see down there. Whatever. But it's like all dark and yeah. So my rule of thumb with the Nepenthes, if you have a pitcher like this, where it's starting to go out and you already have another pitcher on it, then yeah, I'd go ahead and overfeed it. Like this Miranda that I have, that's got a new pitcher on it, I've overfed this pitcher plenty and it's still holding on to it. Because if we turn back here to my Gaia, so you see the new pitchers, they're starting to slow down for the winter, but it's fine. You see these old pitchers, like it's all dark in there. It's full of food and water and digestive enzymes. So that's my rule of thumb. If the pitcher's starting to die off and go out, or it's got a better pitcher on it, like this red leopard right here, this one has no food inside of it at all. But then this little pitcher down here, it's just a tiny little extra one. It's got a cricket and maybe some other little bloodworms or gnats that's falling in there. So that's my rule of thumb for Nepenthes, is just, you know, give them food, give food to the older pitchers. Like right here's a good example, spatulata or spectabulus mira. You can see there's really nothing going on down there besides a couple gnats that caught it by itself. But then we go down here, and in this picture it's all dark and goopy from the bloodworms. So there's a good example right here of what the capensis do after a little bit whenever they get fed. So we'll cut to that real quick. All right, I'm filming this in advance for this video, but this is just my setup in my room that I have underneath my fish tank. So right now I have this capensis red and this ventricosa. So what I've done is, you can see there's the fluval stratum pellets that I use, or not the fluval stratum, the bug bites that I use for Bones, wherever he is. He's in his log right now. But no, I use them for my carnivorous plants in here. So, or maybe there's like a stray fly that gets in here, like see right there, there's a stray fly. So I mean, it's doing good catching stuff. It's even caught a little bit of gnats, but mainly once I see a leaf doing this and it's still got a little bit of dew on it, I'll just throw it in here. We'll cut back to tomorrow whenever this is all curled up. All right, so here we are. I just got back from school, so I just got back, so this is the next day. Here's that leaf that curled around the whatever, the bug bites. So as you can see, it curls around. There's another one right here. So that's just kind of what happens after you feed them after a little bit. So yeah, this is what it'll look like depending on what it is. If it's a live bug, it'll like actually curl really far around it and curl over itself like this, depending on how far the food is dispersed. But other than that, yeah, this is pretty much how it'll look, and then it'll start growing new leaves with those nutrients. All right, so that was just like a short little example of what the capensis will do whenever they get fed. I also do it for my tokenensis up here, which they aren't really pushing out any flowers because it's winter time and there's a lot less light and they don't have the energy for it. But everything loves to get a good feeding in, and I just use the bloodworms because I have them and they'll be feeding these plants forever until winter ends at least. But you can use Osmocote, anything else that's just not in the soil, or I bet you can use Osmocote in the soil, just dilute it very low. But the main thing, that's the main reason, is to grow traps and different stuff. So feeding your plants is not a bad thing, and I feel like it gets really overlooked whenever growing carnivorous plants. Everybody focuses on light, humidity, pots, and they forget the main reason why we grow these plants is so that they can eat. So yeah, this is just a short little video. You got a little tour of everything before December. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys later.